that we could be responsible about taxpayer dollars and dig into this. But I specifically mentioned the Department of Education. Do y'all know what the Republicans want to do to the Department of Education? They put the wrestling lady over it, number one. And then she said that her job is to shut it down. So they started gutting it from within. And I've not heard anything from my colleagues on the other side of the aisle about how devastating that would be for our children to gut the Department of Education, a department that would do things such as collect data and conduct investigations around things such as this. Among those requests were the number of voucher students in each grade level and at each school, and the percentage of each school's revenue that came from the program. Neither the department nor the administrator provided the information, saying the enrollment data could identify students in the program and they had no information on a school's source of revenue. Their responses strongly suggested schools participating in the program relied largely or solely on voucher students for their existence and could not attract other students based on quality. So I urge you to vote yes. In addition to that, there was an attempt to debunk what I was talking about. I just want to make sure that we clarify so we all on the same page. We are talking about federal funding because we are on the federal level. This is the U.S. House. And when we look at the federal appropriations, what they are proposing as it relates to SOAR is that there be approximately $24,000 per OSP student. So $30 million for OSP, $10 million for DC public schools, and $20 million for DC public charter schools. Those are the numbers. Undeniably, that is what would be in our appropriations. And with that, I will yield.
Your lead is back. Chair recognizes Mr. Higgins from Louisiana.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield my time to Ms. Fox.
I thank Mr. Higgins. You know, our colleagues want to continue the Department of Education, which has done an abysmal job since it came into existence, unfortunately, as a bribe, again, to the unions to put it in existence. So yesterday, a report came out. The National Assessment of Educational Progress, NAEP, offered a grim outlook Tuesday for 8th and 12th grade students. Scores dropped to the lowest in decades for reading and math score among high school seniors, along with declines in 8th grade science. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to enter this into the record if I could. It's an article that it's in the Hill, but it was in, I think, every major paper. We've spent trillions of dollars through the Department of Education since its existence, and here's what was reported yesterday. In math, 45% of high school seniors scored below basic, the lowest since 2005. In reading, 32% in the exam taken last year scored below basic, the lowest since the exam began in 1992. And our friends want to keep the union schools in existence and deny the opportunity for students, particularly in DC and other places that we've had. It's devastating what's happening in the, quote, public schools. In 2023, NAEP found only 14% of students were reading for fun every day, with experts calling it a crisis. The scores, we aren't getting any return on the money that's being spent in the public schools in terms of high quality among our students. And yet here in Washington, we're trying to help almost all minority students. 95% are minority. They're trapped in low-performing schools. And through the opportunity scholarships, they have the opportunity to choose a high-performing school. And our colleagues want to deny them that. It's unfathomable that they want to do that. The best thing we could do in this country, we are in a race with China, India, and other countries who want to be first in the world, and particularly China. They want to take us over. And what are they doing? Focusing on helping students develop skills. And we're focusing on pouring money down a rat hole. in terms of what we're spending for education. We are not helping our students. This amendment needs to be defeated. All the amendments that are going to come up need to be defeated. And I yield back, and I thank my colleague from Louisiana for yielding. I yield back my time to him.
Gentlelady yields back.
I yield, Mr. Chairman.
And before I yield to the next person, we never did accept the Hill report without objection. So ordered for the record. Any other members seek recognition? Ms. Crockett.
Thank you so much. I just want to clarify, because I don't want the American people to watch this and be confused. When it comes to education, we typically don't have this big government view on things such as K through 12. When we're talking about our public schools, we're talking about our K through 12 students, there typically is a school board that is locally elected. So whether or not they are implementing certain programs or not, that's usually based upon whatever that local school board wants to do. Those local school boards are contained within states. Those states have different rules about what tests they want students to take or not. So there's state law, there is local law, and then there is federal law. When we look to the Department of Education is around to ensure equal access to education. It is supposed to promote educational excellence and provide financial and technical support to states, local districts, students, and institutions. They also do things like making sure that there is federal aid that is available. So yes, the Department of Education absolutely has a role to play, but their everyday role is not to be in the classroom and make sure that tests are administered a certain way or that there is a specific curriculum. In fact, they're supposed to conduct things such as our civil rights investigations, another area that the Republicans seemingly want to gut. And when we talk about civil rights, we're talking about our uniquely able students as well. We are talking about making sure that the resources are available no matter if you are born with a disability, no matter if you are born into poverty, no matter what the circumstance is, there has to be a level set, and that is what the federal government is supposed to do, is to make sure that we have a level set. The only reason that we're talking about local issues is because obviously we're in DC, and DC needs statehood like yesterday so that they can make their own decisions. But instead, we're deciding what we're going to send into DC, and now this is supposedly about taking care of the poor black kids in DC. Well, let me ask you, what else have y'all done for poor black people in this country? Give me another bill that y'all got, because that is not what you are known for, is looking out for poor black people. I'm just saying, these are the facts. So, in fact, nobody mentioned the numbers or wanted to play on the numbers until I brought up the fact that at a private school, they can decide who they do and don't want. And unfortunately, with this administration, they may tell them, you're not allowed to give out scholarships to students that are of color, because we know that they've done that on the federal level. They said, listen, we're going to take your funding away at certain colleges if you're giving out money based upon the fact that someone is coming from a diverse background. We know that our HBCUs right now are really concerned that they may end up struggling because they tend to cater to a certain demographic. So please don't get it twisted. We, the American people, know that y'all have not been fighting for what is best for black folk, whether we're talking about in education or whether we're talking about the over-incarceration or over-policing as we see the invasions of black-run cities right now. I'll yield.
Any other members seek recognition? Seeing none.
Jasmine Crockett, Democrat from Texas. She starts strong, explaining that Republicans want to gut the Department of Education. She points out that they literally appointed someone who said her goal was to shut it down. Crockett's main point: the Department of Education isn't about controlling local schools. It's about ensuring equal access, civil rights, and fair funding for all students. especially those with disabilities or from poor backgrounds. She calls out the hypocrisy, asking, "When have y'all ever fought for poor black kids?" and reminds everyone that private schools can choose who they admit, while public schools serve everyone. Rep. Virginia Fox, Republican from North Carolina. Fox jumps in with the usual GOP argument. The Department of Education is a failure. Test scores are down, so she claims the system doesn't work. She says Republicans want to give students freedom through voucher programs, letting them use public money for private schools. Basically, she's saying public education is wasting money and that we need school choice. Jasmine Crockett's final response. Crockett calmly and sharply shuts that down. She reminds everyone that local school boards already handle K-12 education. The federal government's role is civil rights and fairness, not daily teaching. Republicans suddenly care about poor black kids only when it suits their political agenda. And honestly, that line hit like a mic drop. Okay, listen. I love when a politician can keep it real and stay composed under pressure. Jasmine Crockett didn't just clap back emotionally. She educated the room. Like, she gave a mini masterclass in how federal versus local education actually works. Meanwhile, the Republican side here felt like they were doing what they always do, blaming the system, using fear tactics about China and failing schools, but offering no real solution other than cutting fundi. Thing like, how's less investment supposed to make education better? And that, when have y'all done anything for poor black people line? Whew. You could feel the silence after that. It's bold, it's factual, and it's the kind of honesty we rarely hear in Congress. So yeah, Jasmine Crockett did not miss. She dismantled that argument point by point. And the Republican rep? Completely outmatched. This wasn't even a debate. It was a lesson. Y'all, the big takeaway here, pay attention to who's really fighting for equality and fairness in education. It's not about left or right. It's about access. Every kid deserves a fair shot, no matter their zip code or background. Before cheering for someone cutting big government, ask, who actually benefits from that cut? Because history shows, it's rarely the people who need help the most. If you were impressed by Jasmine Crockett's composure and fire today, smash that like button, drop a comment. Do you think the Department of Education should stay or go? I want to hear your thoughts. And of course, hit subscribe to my shock filer for more epic political takedowns, real talk, and reactions that don't sugarcoat a thing. Until next time, stay aware, stay loud, and stay shocked.